Hi, ladies. Welcome to another episode of the Femalepreneur Coach podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca Barr, and I'm so excited to have you here for a brand new series, actually, because I'm going through a bit of an evolution in business. As always, as women, we have the opportunity to evolve and expand, and our business obviously needs to become a conduit of that rather than a barrier to that. So I'm super excited because what I've been leaning into recently is a lot more spiritual practices around business and really getting that complete mind, body, soul connection and alignment to any of the strategies that I'm sharing with the women that I work with. So that's kind of something behind the scenes that I'm doing at the moment. But what I wanted to share with you today were kind of the 5-step process that I usually go through every morning whenever anything comes up for me mindset related, i.e. anything, any beliefs that aren't serving me, anything that is keeping me stuck from my next level, anything where I see there may be some resistance or unconscious resistance essentially to what it is that I want. So I am a walking, talking embodiment of the work that I share with the women. I am not telling you to do anything that I don't already do every day, because guess what? The mindset work that it needs, that you need to do in order to be visible, in order to be out living your best self energy, to be a personal brand, to be a person of influence, to have a business online, is going to take some work. It is going to dig up or kick up a whole load of limiting beliefs and societal conditioning and things and emotions that don't feel good, that relate to previous traumas and our ingrained belief system as to what is available for us, what we feel safe in receiving, what we feel worthy of receiving. And that work never ends, because every time you get to a new level of success, there's just a whole nother layer of stuff that is waiting to come up and keep you stuck in your tracks. So what I wanted to share with you today was like my 5-step journaling prompts that are my go-to whenever I'm about to do something new, whenever I am, well, really any day of the week that I am looking to show up in my business or really be in receipt of what I want in life. And whenever I feel that there's resistance, I will do this. So the first thing I want you to do is to create a space in which you can really lean into this exercise, because we are very busy beings as women. We've always got multiple hats, lots of things going on, but guess what? That's not going anywhere. So I really do want you to gift yourself this time of intention and create a sacred space. Like, I love to do my morning journaling work with a cup of tea or something in the morning before the kids wake up, so that this is my time to connect to myself. Because really, our life is not just about ticking off a series of milestones. It's not about getting as much done as you can in a day. It's about living your life on purpose, with purpose, and all the things. So what I want you to do right now, if things just aren't feeling good, is list everything that's not working for you. Like, let's pull the elephant out in the room and get it down on paper, because what we want to do is become the gentle observer of that and really look at it impartially. So when you can remove yourself from your thoughts and become the observer of your thoughts and the witness of your thoughts, as opposed to them just being all consuming in your head, where you cannot see the woods for the trees and you believe what it is that you're saying, like in your absolute fiber, like at the very grassroots level being, you believe it to be true. When you actually get these things on paper, you can start to really question it from a place of not judgment, shame, guilt, or confirmation that you're doing something wrong, but as a gentle observer and as your own best friend. We know what it's like when you have a problem or something that you're trying to work through, how good it can feel when you sometimes get it out and you verbalize it with a friend. And that's essentially what I want you to do. I want you to reconnect and start becoming your own best friend that can really start to see you in your highest possible light. So this is about writing everything down, becoming that gentle observer, and actually starting to look at the things that you've written down objectively. Are they actually true? Like, when you feel stuck in certain areas of your life and you believe that there's no way to move forwards, is that actually true? Because I am a firm believer that there is always a way. It's actually one of my unique gifts in human design, is to essentially eliminate blocks to what it is that I want. And I actually love the problem solving element of business coaching, because that really, I vibe off people's energy. I love to get into creative flow. I know that there is always a way to get the same outcome, maybe in a more creative and expanded way of thinking, but it's absolutely available to all of us. I love that expression, like there's more ways to skin a cat, there's plenty more ways to make money, like all of those things. And I've proved that time and time and time again um, in my own business journey, but also in life. Like I've always been that person. So I remember a very specific example when when I wanted to buy my first business. It was a huge premises in a really prestigious part of town where I live, which is a royal borough, which comes in it with its own sense of hypocrisy and bureaucracy that you have to kind of work around. And it's in a very prominent place and beautiful marketplace, and they did not want to give it to a new business owner without a proven track record of success. They did not want to give it to somebody who they thought were just winging it. And it had to, in their mind, in order to be sustainable and create the kind of income that it needed to pay the rents and all the things that needed to be in place for that premises, in their mind, they're thinking it has to be an established brand or business, like one of the big named retailers. But I could just see how that would be such a shame, because it was really, where I live, it's all about the independents, the creatives, the small business owners. And I wanted to contribute to that. And equally, once you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to do it twice, because that's always been my stubborn nature. So I got really creative with how I was going to do that. And I just knew, I had this inner sense of knowing that I am meant to be in that shop. I actually had a tarot card reading, and there is a big phoenix that is and I think it's called the Griffin. Oh, not Phoenix, the Griffin. Sorry. So the building was called the Griffin Center, and it had a big picture of a griffin on the outside, like above the door, like a royal crest. And I'd had a card reading, a tarot reading, and they had told me you're going to go to somewhere with this beautiful big bird at the front. And I was like, it's got to be this. Like, absolutely has to be this building. I cannot think where else it would be. And also, I'm very big. I'm very mindful and a great believer of the big, audacious goals. And if it is not exciting enough for you, you cannot get fully behind it. And for me, this felt like a stretch. It felt exciting. It was really prestigious. I just knew that I could make it work. I had no business doing that. And I probably should have started with something smaller. It was the biggest barbershop in Kingston, 8 chairs at its peak. And it should have, gone to somebody that had a lot more business. I'd never even stepped foot into a barbershop before I built it, but I just had that inner knowing that it was meant for me. So I got super creative. It was one of those chains where it was like a management agent, solicitors, secretaries, the vendors, like all of the things. We were all going through about 6 different people from me personally as the person that wanted to buy it to the guy that wanted to sell it. So I basically got super creative, found in amongst the paperwork the details for his solicitor, his secretary. And I got her late on a Friday night, and I was like, please, I just need to speak to this guy. Let me see if there is a way that I can create a business plan that's going to absolutely knock his socks off and demonstrate that I know what I'm doing. I have that commercial awareness, even though I can't apply it to this industry. I've just got that something. I will find a way. Like, I've already identified the market and all the things. And she was like, girl, you have sold me on this concept and this idea and what it is that you're trying to create. And also you've worn me down and it's Friday evening, so go away. So she was like, yes, go away, do the thing, come back, let me know when it's ready, and I will make sure that that gets into his hands and onto his desk. And I really brought her into the vision before I could even buy him into the vision. And then I had to go away and create the damn thing that I don't completely over-delivered and over-promised, none of which I had any business or knowing how to do. But I genuinely believe when you know, you fucking know. And I really knew that this was what was meant for me. And, as much as some of that business journey wasn't great, and there was failures and COVID and awful staff and personal trauma and all of the things that inevitably become intertwined with your business, with the highs and the lows of entrepreneurship, it was still an incredible period of time that really enabled me to step out front and know who the fuck I was, because corporate version of me did not know. She was very much being led by everybody else around her. So when you look at those things, I was like, where was I going with that? When you think of those things that currently you feel are a block to whatever it is that you want, become that gentle observer and then actually look into it and investigate, are they actually true? Or is there another way? Because I truly believe there is. And I've proved that many times, as I said. So is there another way? And sometimes we need to find the evidence on this. So obviously for me as a single mom, 5 kids, I have every excuse and every reason why I can't have a successful business, why I need to follow the money and be safe and secure rather than follow my heart and build a business based from my passion and my purpose. I should have probably gone back to a career in HR and, just had that certainty and continued the momentum that I'd built in my 10-year career. But it wasn't meant for me. And I knew that. And so what I did instead was looked at the evidence around me and thought, you know what, there are loads of other incredible women that are also trailblazing, that also don't have networks or families. I don't have any family to support me. I've got a brother and a sister, and that's it, the end. And they're both younger than me, and they both have their own lives going on, and they don't live anywhere near me. So the reality that I don't really have any family that can support me with my kids. I don't, I've got young children. My baby is a year. So and minimal childcare, because otherwise what's the point? That's my values and all the things. So I looked for that evidence around me, and this is why being in masterminds and containers and communities are so powerful, because it really gives you that opportunity to see what is possible for you too. We can quite often get stuck in our own head. And I've recently just been hosting and in the middle of doing the 10 days to 10K challenge. And the shifts that the women are having there are incredible, because these are the first times that they've had these conversations, right? And the first time that they've really had a chance to work on their business rather than in their business, and think bigger and broader at the options that are available to them, how they serve their clients, how they show up in their best self energy in line with their human design, how they increase their chance of conversions, how they continue to sustain their success and make it exciting. And all of this comes from being around like-minded women, but you can also find the evidence online and by listening to podcasts such as this. And then I invite you to really make the decision and choose again. Think something better that is more helpful and serving. And maybe it's a case of, okay, I haven't done this thing before. You can rewrite your beliefs in a way that your brain is going to accept. Because every time something comes into your head, this is why affirmations can be quite tricky, because your brain has the opportunity to accept, reject, or distort any information that it's presented with. And if you have a belief system that's out of alignment with what it is that you're telling it, i.e., oh my God, I'm a millionaire in the making, but your reality tells you that you are not a millionaire in the making, you don't feel anywhere near that, you don't feel worthy of achieving that, guess what? Your brain is going to reject it. It's going to reject that information as absolute rubbish. It's not even going to take it, or it's going to distort it in a way that doesn't really feel good. So it's like, oh yeah, she's only saying that because da 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 da. The more that you can demonstrate the realm of possibility by looking at the evidence around yourself and surrounding yourself with those incredible women, the more that your brain can start to accept, oh, okay, so maybe that is true. The more that you can be mindful of how you phrase it, i.e., I am in the process of learning how to become a millionaire. Every day I take steps that I know are in alignment with my higher self. Every day I commit to mastering my craft, to getting more visible, and to become better and better at what it is that I do. So I move closer to that millionaire status, whatever it is for you. And really decide that this gets to be your next level year. I truly decided that at the beginning of this year. And when I look back on the growth and the opportunities that have come already, I am blown away with what has been created and what is available to me. And I want that for you too. Because when you decide and you open yourself up to the possibilities as to how something is going to come to you, that is truly when you collapse time, create those quantum shifts that everybody loves to talk about, and you truly start to live your life on purpose and in full alignment with who you are and what you came here to do. And if you would like to have a little bit more guidance on how to apply that, I'm actually offering at the moment an incredible 3-week training series, which is called By Design. It's going to be launching at the end of the month, but there's an incredible early bird discount right now where you can learn you will get a detailed blueprint of who you were meant to be when you were first born into this world, in line with your human energy archetype and energy. Then you will also then you will also get 3 weeks of live training where I will show you how to apply that knowledge to your relationships, to your personal lives, to your manifestations, to your goals, also to your business, and also to your money flow, because we want to activate those prosperity codes and really get yourself into that full self abundant flow. So if that sounds good, I'm going to pop all the details in the show note, and I would love to see you there. But thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.